Today we're going to be tearing down and rebuilding an LXWA 56 400-2. That's a 2-speed 56 frame pump. They are import. They're made in China. They're actually pretty decent quality pumps. This one's locked up tight. I've had it apart. I know it's got a bad front bearing in it. I had a customer had a pump flame out while we were doing something else and trying to get him a low-cost alternative to purchasing new. I think this is a good core for a rebuild. I can start rebuilding this guy and see what we can do with it. There we go. So here's the part of the video where I stop the video and beg for likes and subscriptions, which I really need. I'm trying to grow this channel. So if you do like my content, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos. And you know what? If you don't like the videos, leave me a shitty comment because even that helps me out in the algorithm. Whew. That didn't want to come off there. Okay, this 10 millimeter is going to be our armature protector to protect those threads. So we're not, because if you bend that, you're done. That's where all of the force of the impeller is on those threads, just right there. The shaft really doesn't do anything other than being a shaft. It's going to make it a little bit awkward to film here, but I wanted to get you close so you can see what was going on. So this is a special adapter because the back of that bearing is too close to the fan to get a puller on it. And then next we want to get our puller on here. And then see if the bearing pulls off. Like butter. Man, that bearing was bad. I wish you could feel what I'm feeling. Man, imagine having like BBs between your teeth. So go ahead and put that on. This is a special tool. It's made out of soft metal, but it's the exact inside diameter as the outside diameter of the shaft, and it is the same outside diameter as the outside diameter of the race. The inner race of the bearing. So just that simple. She's on there. Go ahead and put the end bell back on. And tap them. And if you notice, I'm hitting right here, right where the bearing is. You don't want to hit on the outside of the end bell. You either bend or break it. Wow, look at that shaft spin. That is how they're supposed to spin. Go ahead and put this rotor back in. Want to be careful not to scratch or damage anything in there. Okay. Okay, here we go. Witness marks lined up. This is a metric pump, so that's an M5 nut. Let's wire it up. Even though this is just temporary, let's make it look neat. She's wired up and ready to go. And even though this is temporary wiring, I did put the ground wire on and put the cover back on just in case. It only takes a second, and it's cheap insurance for something going wrong. I'll hold you by hand for a second here. So we've got it wired up to this Balboa control. And there's the controls all lit up. This is something we repaired in an earlier video. This thing was smoked. She had actually caught fire. That had actually caught fire, but we fixed her up. It's not something you could ever resell to a customer, but it works well for what we're doing with it right here. That's low speed. Doesn't sound bad. All right, let's get that shaft cleaned up so we can put this thing back together as a pump. Pretty simple stuff. We've got number 2 mill bastard. We've got a wire brush and a drill. We've got a roll of emery cloth. So we've got the control down here. We control the motor. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Start getting the shaft cleaned up. Not perfect, but good enough to get an impeller on. So let's see if we get an impeller on there. The back here doesn't do anything. From here back, all of the force of this impeller is on that end of that shaft. That's all you need. All right, we're about ready to reassemble this pump. Motor's all ready to go. Here's the volute. It's a used one, but it's good. Here is a suction flange. Got an impeller. And this is the shaft seal. The ever important wear ring. I talk about it in every video. Put you guys on a tripod and we'll get to reassembling this guy. First thing we need to do is install the shaft seal. So what you got here is, I think this is a silicon carbide seal. And it rides on this graphite piece. This piece goes inside the impeller, goes in the impeller. So it rotates. The other side is stationary. Make sure we get it seated in there properly. Make sure it's nice and square. Which is it is not. Now it is. I'm just going around and making sure that the gasket's seated all the way, and then sighting across this plane here to make sure she's sitting in there right. That's looking pretty good. Okay, next we'll lubricate this up. This is Teflon grease or silicone grease. I'm not sure which one. I think it's Teflon. And this will just protect the neoprene from the chemicals in the water, and also helps you put it together. So we'll just put this in, get it started, and we'll just kind of gently work it around. Screwdriver. Look at it from behind, make sure it's fully seated, and we're good to go. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera and we're gonna put this volute onto this wet end, onto this motor. Oh, that feels pretty good. It's nice and snug, not too snug. Put the wear ring on. Lubricate up this O-ring, and these have to be clocked properly. So this would normally be the bottom of the motor, so the center goes there. And push it in there, get it clocked right. And with that, we have a From the Ashes complete pump, ready to go back into service.